Welcome to this presentation on integrating technology in school counseling by Carmen Arroyo. The objective. The objective is to incorporate technology to better serve our middle school students and also provide parents, students, and teachers better access to the school counselor. Tierra Brenna K through 8. Demographics for our school. 24% are Asian, 29% Hispanic or Latino, 38% are white, and less than 1% other. 59% socioeconomically disadvantaged, 20% English learners, 10% students with disabilities, and less than 10% foster youth. Needs assessment. The needs assessment data collection method and tools consisted of an asynchronous focus group, which included parents, teachers, students, and staff, a student survey, which surveyed students on social emotional needs and access to counselor, interviews, which included teachers, parents, students, and school staff, and my personal observations and experience as an intern counselor. Needs assessment results. So what we found out is that 78% of our middle school students were having a difficulty locating the school counselor during breaks to schedule sessions. There's also a disconnect between the school counselor and the middle school students. 98% of students felt that using an app or a website to contact the counselor would be beneficial, but 65% admitted that they would not use it to contact their counselor due to a lack of rapport with the school counselor. The biggest stressor in students' lives is anxiety stemming from the stress of having to do well in school and fitting in. Parents said that they were 90% more likely to contact the counselor through the school website and or an app on a phone. 99% of administrators and staff felt that contacting the school counselor through an app and or the school website would be beneficial for students, parents, and staff. And again, here we focused on doing a needs assessment only on the middle school students, 6th through 8th. Summary. So based on my experience and observations as a new counselor and the information gathered from the needs assessment, the inference is that students do not feel a connection with the current counselor. And much of this derives from the fact that they are not able to schedule sessions with her during school hours due to scheduling limitations. This affects the rapport that the counselor has with middle school students. Middle school students are a little more difficult to meet with because teachers do not like for students to be missing out on instruction minutes. And this, of course, affects the foundation, the management, delivery, and accountability of the school counseling program. Solution. So the solution would be adopting an app that allows students, parents, and staff to communicate with the school counselor over an app or website. Students will be able to schedule sessions with their counselor in order to build a rapport so that the social emotional needs of the students are met. Proposal here is a school-wide implementation of the application Remind. In addition to adding a link to Remind to the school website for access to parents that do not have cell phones. And the cost of this application is free. Remind is a communication platform that helps educators and staff build relationship with students and parents every day. The features of this app include real-time messaging to a group or person, reminders that can be scheduled ahead of time, messages that can be sent on the go from a laptop or an app or a tablet, allows you to set office hours to let students and parents know the best times to reach you. Turn off replies when you're done with a conversation. It builds stronger relationships, so you can send messages the way people actually communicate. Typical teenager sends and receives about 30 texts per day. And 92% of all adults own cell phones, and they are rarely turned off. Getting family involved. Messages can be sent to any phone. Families don't need smartphones or even internet to use Remind. translate messages into 85 different languages, incorporating cultural factors and the involvement of family and community. Given that 20% of our students are English learners and 44% of parents' primary language is not English, the option of translating messages into 85 other languages allows us to better reach parents and ELL students. In addition, it allows for counselors and other school staff to reach families and the community about events at the school and or other community events that promote unity, education, and involvement. Here's a brief overview of the setup. So users would download a free application, set up by creating an account, and be added to a specific group using a specific school code. That would be text to this number 81010. They could see who's joined in real time. Again, personal contact information does not appear, only the user's name. And this will all start by sending a class announcement to start a conversation. So here's some information on schools that have used Remind. So at a high school in Illinois, they noticed a 20% improvement in school-wide attendance. High school in New York noticed 3 times improvement in parent turnout at school events. An elementary school in California noticed 99% of parents surveyed feel positively about receiving Remind messages. And high school in New Jersey noticed a 2-letter grade improvement due to increased parent involvement. When it comes to privacy and safety, Remind uses iKeepSafe. iKeepSafe conducts assessments of products that are used or intended for use in educational settings, bringing these products into compliance with federal and state privacy and children's safety laws. The data privacy certification protects the school's technology product investment with assurances that can only come from a trusted third-party review. Data privacy certification demonstrates transparency of student data practices. And data privacy certification simplifies the purchasing process for schools by helping to save time, build confidence, and trust between schools and edtech companies. Conclusion. So the conclusion is students need to be able to connect with their counselor in order to address their needs and focus on education and their academics. Parents and teachers and students and other school staff are in support of this application. The implementation of the application should be school-wide in order for it to be a success. Remind is easy to set up and very cost-effective. Remind will allow better communication with a counselor, which is our ultimate goal. And that concludes my presentation. Here are the references. Thank you.